If everything disappeared tomorrow, my audience, my funnels, my software, and my systems, what are the 3 things that I would rebuild? Because here's what I know for sure. Most business owners don't actually have a motivation problem. They have a sequence problem. They're doing lots of really good things, but in the wrong order. And today I'm going to explain to you why certain systems matter more than others. We're not going to be doing theory, not trends. We're actually going to help you to create calm, consistency, and also cash flow. So today's session also comes with a workbook. So if you want to get that ready for the session as we do our little countdown timer with our theme song, head to omnisam.com.au/systems check-in. That's omnisam.com.au/systems check-in. And I'll meet you back here in 3.5 once we wait for all our VIPs to join us in the Voz.
You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. You always thought that you were weak, but babe, you're wrong. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Go ahead and shine, darling, go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine. You shouldn't doubt yourself, 'cause you're a work of art. You should know that you are perfect with those flaws. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Know that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Go ahead and shine, darling, go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine, shine, darling, go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Shine, go ahead and shine, darling, go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine, shine, darling, go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up?
welcome to Strategy with Sally. This is our weekly live and we are returning for 2026. Welcome. Happy New Year. Hope you all had a fabulous Christmas and 2026 is going to be an amazing year. So if you don't know, we do this live stream every single Tuesday right here on YouTube and Facebook and lots of other places. If you don't want to miss any of our live streams, make sure that you do subscribe to our YouTube channel and then hit that little notification bell so that you get alerts when we go live. Now, this episode is about systems, yes, but more importantly, it's about pressure. Where pressure shows up in your business, it tells you which system is missing. So today, we're going to do two things. First, I'm going to explain why these particular systems matter and when things break, what they might be missing. And then you're also going to get access to a workbook to really help you to pinpoint your priorities. So I have dropped a link in the chat for those of you who want to download the workbook. But if you're just listening to this, then head to omnisam.com.au/systems check-in. And hang on, I've just messed up my little screen here. If we have not yet met, I'm Sally. I'm the founder of OmniSam, and I've built businesses without systems. I've built them with systems, and I can tell you now, the difference is night and day without systems. So if I was to rebuild my business, today I'm going to show you the three main systems that I would set up. And without systems, everything just relies on memory. Growth can feel really, really chaotic, and you can feel really busy, but not in control. Who feels like that? You seem to be always busy, but you never seem to get any control or feel that traction. I can see the VIPs nodding and raising their hands in the room. But with systems, decisions become easier, follow-up becomes more consistent, and you stop carrying everything around in your head. Now, systems don't remove freedom, but they actually create it. So why does this matter? Well, you see, most people think that they need more leads, more content, more visibility, more traffic. But if your back end isn't solid, more leads just means more stress, more balls dropped, more overwhelm. That's why if I had to start my business all over again, I would not start with marketing. I would actually start with systems. So let me share with you the three main systems that I would build. So the first one is lead capture and follow-up. Now, let's talk about lead capture and follow-up. This system exists for one reason, so that interest doesn't get wasted. So every time someone opts in or messages you, has an inquiry, or they might say, "This sounds good," they are actually raising their hand. If nothing consistent happens next, then that interest will die. Not because they're not keen on buying, but because life can get really busy. And this is why the system always comes first. Because when you miss that follow-up part, it's just the silence that they get is actually lost revenue for you. So the consequences of having no system is leads fall through the cracks. Follow-ups can feel really awkward because it could be really big gaps in between when they first showed interest and the interest they have now. And sales can feel, inconsistent. And you rely mostly on your memory, and memory isn't scalable. Automation doesn't actually replace the connection, but it actually protects it. Now, if you go to that workbook that you can download and you turn to page 4, in that workbook, you'll see that there's a page there. Now, this page isn't just a checklist to judge yourself, it's a mirror. And I want you to answer honestly, because clarity here creates immediate relief. So go to page number 4 or pause the recording if you're on replay and go and complete that now. Now, you know we always like a little bit of GSD. So for those of you who are in the room right now, you're going to head to page number 4 and you're going to check the different things. So what happens when somebody raises their hand? Now, I want you to check. I have a clear pathway for people to opt in or inquire, or leads are captured automatically, or leads receive an immediate response, or follow-up happens consistently, or every lead is guided to a clear next step. So once you check the boxes that you're currently doing, I want you to then write down what currently happens when somebody opts in or there is an inquiry. Do you know the steps? And I want you to take a couple of minutes to write that down. Then, once you've done that, then you're going to give that sort of system an audit. Is it a solid system, or does it need improvement, or is it just missing altogether? All right. So pause the recording if you're on replay and go and do that audit. For you guys here inside of the VOZ, I'm going to give you 5 minutes. We're going to do GSD up front. All right. So you've got 5 minutes now. And let me see if I've got my GSD screen. 5 minutes now to answer those questions. And we're getting stuck right into it from day number 1 of 2026. Where is my screen? Okay, there we go. So, how did you go? Did you get a few things written down? Do you have a hole? Do you have something you need to fix? Well, hopefully that checklist is at least getting you there. And by the end, you'll know exactly which one you got to work on first. So let's now move to system number 2 of 3. The one I would build next is my sales and booking system. Now, this isn't about decision making because this isn't. I meant to say this is. This is about decision making. Most people don't fail to sell because they're bad at sales. They fail because, one, their offer isn't clear. And the second reason is the next step for that lead to take isn't obvious. And then third, the system does too much explaining. And when you confuse, you lose. And confused people don't buy. Clear systems will actually help you convert. Now, the consequence of no system set up in this area, without this system, sales can drag on, or you're chasing leads manually. And also inquiries, they don't convert. And then you spend so much emotional energy on what am I going to do? How am I supposed to get more clients? Instead of having a reliable structure in place. So what we're going to do is we're going to now move to page number 5 in the workbook. Now, this page is going to help you see where clarity is missing, not just where you're doing things wrong, but where you can simplify. And this will help to unlock momentum and also allow you to see which areas need improvement. So this one's a bit more of a shorter one. I'm going to give you just 2 minutes on this one. So on page number 5, you're going to answer, is it clear how people say yes? 1, you have one clear offer. Is that clear offer, you know who it's for? Do people know how to buy from you or how to book a call with you? Is your booking system or your checkout process really simple? And are you not relying on manual reminders to close sales? So once you tick the boxes above, then you're going to say, how does this feel? Does your current system feel simple? Does it feel a bit messy? And does it feel overwhelming? And once you've chosen that, then you'll give a system status. Is it solid? Does it need improvement? Or is it missing? So that was actually, we probably don't need to stop for GSD because I'm hoping you've ticked those boxes as I read them out to you. But this one here is really about your sales and your booking systems, making sure that they're easy to follow and simply having and knowing what the next step is. So, for example, if you've got a lead magnet out there, after they've consumed that lead magnet, do they simply know what to do next? Does it take them direct to a thank you page with a booking calendar on it? Or does it take them to a thank you page with a value like money order? So let me just share with you on my little whiteboard here. And if you're listening to this on the podcast, then you can go to the YouTube channel and you can see what we're about to draw on the whiteboard. But the way in which we ensure from that first system, your lead system, to the back end follow-up that will happen for you, what you can do on the front end. So let me go across to my iPad. Here. So what it will look like is, let's get rid of this QR code first because that's no longer relevant. You will have an opt-in. Oh, it's not drawing. Why is it not drawing on the screen? Why? Of course, day one back, we've already got issues. All right, let's try this. Add. Oh, hello over there. Let's go. Oh, actually, I know what it might be. And Ma, make sure you edit all of this stuff out. Right? Okay. Yeah. Aha. This is what it is. This one's got to go to... Nope. Wrong one. Aha. This one here. It hasn't picked up the video source. There we go. Okay. So let's begin that again. When people opt in, you have a freebie, right? So you've got something to give away for free, a little gift. And in return, they give you their name and their email address. Now, once they hit that submit button, then they land on what we call a thank you page. But on this thank you page, this is one of the, I would say, the most underutilized pages in most people's funnel. They get to this page and they just tell the person to download the freebie or go check their email for the free resource. Problem with that is it takes them out of the funnel and doesn't give them another step. So what you want to put on this page is ask them to give up one of two things. One is a little bit of money. Now, if they don't know you and this is a cold lead, anywhere between $1 to $47. This is what we call a tripwire. It's enough to help us see who are more interested and who are more likely to pull out their credit card to learn more. But make sure whatever that offer is, it links clearly from that free resource. So from that free resource, it feels like the next logical step. Now, that first one is money. The other one you can ask them to give up is a little bit of their own time, right? And in return for that time, you're going to give them a session, a discovery session, an audit, a sales. Well, you won't call it a sales call, but you'll call it something cool. Also, whatever the name of that call is, make it feel like the next logical step. Okay, so once you have that on the page, now we've got a clearer path from a lead through to that sales and booking system. And that's where you'll send them to either the checkout, right? The checkout, or you'll send them to the calendar to book an appointment with you. Okay, now there are other things that we build in the back end for if they don't take that step yet. And that's that first system that we spoke about, that lead and follow up. So when somebody opts in for the freebie, we do 5 different emails in our list funnel for when people are growing their list. Now, the first email is the freebie itself. So delivering the freebie. The second one is we add more value. We're giving more away, making an addition to whatever that freebie was. Then the next email is building the bridge between the freebie and the next offer. And that will be what you normally put on the thank you page. Then the one after that is actually the offer itself. So you'll either, and again, we're going to be pushing them back to the thank you page. And the final one is scarcity. So this is a limited time offer. And again, we're pushing them back to the thank you page, right? Where you have that offer, whether it's a free a tripwire or an appointment where they give up a little bit of their time. All right, so that here in this graphic shows you the first part of the stage, or the first system we spoke about. Then off the back end of that, we have a very clear path to sales or bookings. All right, so there we go. That's our first two systems. Let me now talk to you about the third system. This one is the client onboarding and retention. Now, the reason this matters is most people actually underestimate this particular system. But your client onboarding and retention, it exists to help with buyer's remorse, right? Also to build confidence in what it is that they've purchased. It also helps you by reducing that support and all the overwhelm of where and how to get support. And it also protects your reputation because they can see that they've purchased something and now they know what to do with it. You see, getting the sale, that's not actually the finish line. It's the starting line. And without an onboarding system, what can happen is your clients can feel unsure. They can feel that, the support requests that you will get actually start to increase if you don't have a really good onboarding system. And then churn. That creeps in quietly, where people start to ask for money back, they get buyer's remorse, or if they're on a membership plan, they cancel their subscription. You see, retention is not luck. It's actually built by design. And your onboarding experience is your brand, and you want to ensure that you provide really clear next steps in that onboarding system. So now I want you to turn to page number 6. And in this one, you're going to be answering a few questions. So the first one is, what happens after somebody says yes? And I want you to check all the boxes that are relevant to you. The first one is, clients know what happens next. The second one is that you have an onboarding and a welcome process. The third one is that expectations are set clearly for that new customer. The fourth one is clients know where they're going to get support, right? So you want to have that in your onboarding process. And then finally, do you nurture your clients after they've been onboarded? So once you've checked the boxes above, then you will answer, how confident do you feel with the first 7 days of your customer's onboarding experience? Do you feel very confident, somewhat confident, often unsure, or you're just not sure at all, or they're not sure at all? So how do they feel? Then, of course, we're going to do that system status update. Do you have a solid system in place? Do you have a system that needs improvement? Or do you have things that are missing? You see, here with OmniSam, we have a very good onboarding system in regards to, we know what should happen in the first 30 days, in the first week, then the first 30 days, 60 and 90 days. Because what we want to do is ensure that every client gets onboarded well. Now, I can tell you it wasn't like that when we first started, but the way in which our onboarding process got better was through time and having clients. The more questions they asked, the more we realized if they came up and we saw these similar questions, we would probably be best to add that into the onboarding so that we're not hearing the same questions on repeat. Also, because we sell software, we've got to make sure that they can use it. So we do 2 sessions to onboard clients into the software. The first session goes for about 2 hours, and the second one goes for about 1 hour. Beyond that, we also have an onboarding sequence that goes out that teaches them a little bit every other day so that they can slowly sink their teeth into the system itself. All right, so let's move on to page number 7 in the workbook. And I want to talk to you about what you're actually working on. And this page is really important because what you're doing is you need to make sure you're building things in the right order, using the right system. And often this requires you to stop doing the wrong things. So, tick anything that applies to you. Are you constantly chasing shiny new tools? Are you looking at new tools thinking if I just get a new tool, then that'll make things easier, right? The second one is, are you trying to build everything at once rather than just starting with one thing and getting it out there? You see, when you're trying to build everything at once, what happens is you tend to feel like you're never going to launch because you're looking at everything and you're wanting it to be perfect. What I recommend is just start with list growth first until that is solid. The way in which you make it better and ensure that it works is by putting people in it. So if you're somebody who's waiting to build everything at once, you've got to stop that and just build a list growth funnel. The third thing is, are you creating content and posting everywhere without a back-end system? So it's all well and good to stick stuff on social media and put videos out there and go live, but then what? Do you have a back-end system that actually captures leads when they're interested in that content? The next one is manually following up. Now, if you're doing that already, sure, continue doing it because the fortune's in the follow-up. However, you should automate that, right? That one will come with a little bit of time because I do want you to get your leads in. But once your leads come in, you should get an email straight away to let you know that you've got a new lead. And there will be that follow-up system in regards to those first 5 emails, right? But then, of course, we send them off to a long-term nurture, and that's an episode for another day. But you should also automate setting a task up for yourself so that you do follow up with that person. It's all well and good to get an automated email to tell you that you've got a new lead, but are you picking up that phone? You see, there is a saying in my Fortunes in the Follow-Up book, we talk about speed to lead. The quicker you can follow up with them and they can hear you be a human, the higher the chance of conversion. It increases. I don't have the numbers with me today, but it increases dramatically. The quicker you can pick up that phone, and I'll tell you, 80 to 90% of the time, you're just leaving a message. But at least they're hearing a human on the other end. And the other one, the last one on the checklist is you're overbuilding without validating, which means you're building lots and lots of lead generation funnels, but you're not validating, or what I like to call it is measuring and optimizing. I could tell you a story. There was a client of mine who she had exactly the same lead magnet, and we didn't change the lead magnet itself. We just kept changing the hook, the thing that makes them click the button. Now, you see, 20% of the people who actually opt in for your freebie, only 20% of them are actually going to open it and look at it, right? But at least you know those people have put in their email address because they've gone in the back of their little brain. It's gone, oh, I think I need help with that thing, right? So as long as the hook or the problem up front is something that people are interested in and clicking, and the only way to validate that is to put it in front of people. We can guess that, oh, this lead magnet will work, but if you haven't actually validated it by putting it in front of people, then you won't know for sure. And what can happen as well is if you're posting this to people who already know you, for example, your email list, they already know you, your social media, they already know you, you're also going to end up with inflated metrics because those people already know you. Therefore, they're more likely to opt in. So an even better way to validate is to get it in front of new eyes, people who don't yet know you, right? And with this client that never changed their lead magnet, we just ran, I think it was about $10, $20 a day on ads to get it in front of new eyes. And she was getting about 10 new emails a day. Now, this was a while ago, but the lead cost is probably a little bit more these days. But I could see based on the metrics that it wasn't converting how it should. So we just kept changing the words in the ad until she went from 10 leads a day to 400 leads. Now, the lead magnet didn't change. It was just the words on the front end that we kept changing until we could validate the offer. Now, what I see a lot of people do in this area is they're like, oh, it doesn't work. Let's build another lead magnet. Oh, that one didn't work. Let's build another lead magnet. And you're constantly overbuilding. Now, if you're manually following up right now, maybe you've got to continue to do that until your front end is really bringing in lots of leads using that first system I recommended. But from all of those things, chasing shiny tools, building everything at once, creating content without a back-end system, manually following up for now, and overbuilding without validating, I want you to pick one thing that you will commit to stop doing this month. All right. Now, that's all on page number 7 of the workbook. All right. Now, towards the end of this workbook, we are actually from page 8 onwards, we're going to do a little bit of an audit on your systems. So turn to page number 8. And we're going to get you to look through each of these 3 systems that we've discussed. And I'm going to get you to score, honestly score, between 0, which means it's not set up and in place, number 1, which means it's partially in place, and number 2, it's fully in place. So let me do a share screen, which I haven't set up. But give me a moment and I will do that. Where's my little share screen button? This one will probably work if I come here and go to here. And then all right, here we go. This is the workbook. For those of you who are on the live stream, we are just setting up a scene right now for those here in the room. Oops. Here we go. That's not, that'll do. All right. So here are the things I want you to score between 1, 2. So you'll choose your little drop down. So do you have a clear way for people to opt in or inquire? Rank that 0, 1, or 2. Do you have leads that are captured automatically? Rank that from 0, 1, or 2. Do you have new leads that receive an immediate response? Between 0, 1, or 2. Do you have follow-up systems that happen consistently? And finally, every lead is guided to the next logical step. Once you've ranked all of those, then down the bottom, I want you to put in your total score out of 10 for the system 1, the lead capture and follow-up. Then we're going to move to core system number 2. This is your sales and booking system. Again, we're going to rank them between 0 to 2. The first one is, do you have one crystal clear offer that you're trying to sell? And this will be your core offer. All roads lead to your core offer. Is it super obvious who the offer is for? Question 3 is, do people know how to book or buy? Question 4, the booking or the checkout process is super simple. And finally, you're not relying on manual reminders to close the sale. All right, so that is core system number 2, the sales and booking system. And I want you to score that out of 10. Then moving on to the client onboarding and retention system. So again, scoring 0 to 2, do your clients know what happens after they say yes? Question number 2, you have a clear onboarding and welcome process? Question 3 is expectations are clearly set. Question 4, do your clients know exactly where to go for support? And then finally, question 5, are your new clients nurtured beyond the onboarding process? So once you've ranked those, you will again give a score out of 10. Now, once you've done that, then you're going to move down to looking back through your scores and say which is the lowest scoring system. Is it your lead capture and follow-up system? Is it your sales and booking system? Or is it the client onboarding and retention system? Now, just like I've put here on the page, it is not you do not need to do everything at once. The lowest score doesn't mean failure. It just is the fastest opportunity for momentum. So this is where you're now going to lock in your priority and what you're going to do in the next 7 days. So which of those systems will be your priority? Second, what action will you take in the next 7 days to ensure that something small inside that system is fixed? So from all of those 5 questions in each of those scoring categories, just look at one of them to make sure that it is solid. Okay? And then I want you to commit. What is the starting date when you're going to sit down and start working on that system? All right, there we go, guys. So this, once you've done, you're going to start to finally feel relief, because instead of guessing, you can now clearly see based on your lowest score. But remember, it is not failure. These scores allow you to focus, and trying to fix everything at once is actually not going to work, right? Momentum will come from doing things in the right order, the right sequence. So once you know you've found the lowest scoring system, you have now prioritized which part you're going to build, and you're not going to build everything, right? You're just going to build that one thing and fix it. Then you are going to feel so much relief because you will have an order, right? Now, when you choose that action, what I want you to do is just choose something that's small, that's simple, and that is doable. Because progress beats perfection every time. Now, if you're thinking that this makes sense, but you don't want to build it alone, or you're not sure what order to do it in, well, that's exactly what we can help you with here at OmniSam. So if you would like us to audit your system so that you understand which system to build the correct way, what sequence you should be building, and doing it all without overwhelm, then you can just simply head to omnisam.com.au. You can watch a little demo about what our system actually does. And also there you can book a call for us to give you an audit on your current systems. But remember, you don't need to do everything. You just need to do the right thing. All right. So, as always, as we wrap on up here today, we're going to come across to the VIPs and we're going to ask them, what was your key takeaway or what did you like best from today? Let me find my little VIP. Where is it gone? Whoop. Undo. Where's my little VIP? Window. All right, here we are. Okay, so Deborah, come on up. Share what your key takeaway was from today. She's looking for the button.
I knew you were going to ask me, Sally. Well, my key takeaway is that I need to do a lot of work because I don't really have anything set up yet. John is in the process, and I need to have some good conversations with him and with you to see where I start, where I go first.
Yeah.
Because I can't do anything before I have an offer, a solid offer, or at least a good idea, and a confident idea of what and how I'm going to present the offer. I feel that's my first.
So
my first step.
We've done your offer, so we know what your offer is, right?
Yes, I know what I'm offering as in terms of that it's there's the course, it's a group coaching and it's 12 weeks and stuff like that, but I'm still not completely sure of pricing and that sort of thing, and I have to have that all clear before I can take that next step.
Okay, so we can definitely sit together and talk about pricing.
Yes, I've already booked.
Perfect. The other one is thinking about your lead magnet, right? So that we can at least start building that list.
That's it. Yes.
We will be running a list growth challenge towards the end of this month. So even though we're building out your funnel for you, I would highly recommend that you do one yourself. So come along to that list growth. We'll be running a little challenge. It'll be a free challenge for the wider community towards the end of the month, specifically around list growth. And then after that, we also have a GSD 3-day list growth workshop as well, because the shorter challenge, we won't be able to do as much as the full 3-day workshop. So we'll be locking in those dates next week. Asha's coming down here to work for a few weeks, so we'll have exact dates for you. But I would sort of plan end of Jan it'll be. All right.
Perfect.
Cool. Joanne, come on up. What was your key takeaway from today?
Got a lot of work to do. I, as usual, Sally, I love the way you lay it all out. It's like I can look at my notes today and say, oh, I do this, and then I do this, and then I do this. As opposed to, I've got 15 things to do, and let's do them all in the next 2 days. That really helps me when I have that roadmap as to where I go next.
Yeah, awesome. And that's the thing, is we just want you to take small steps, like progress over perfection. Your business and all of its processes and systems will always be evolving, right? It never stops, but it gets easier with time, especially once you have that one clear road that leads to your core offer. Beyond that, once that road is working really well, then we can build other offers. But if we try to build too many offers, it just dilutes your message. And it affects the measuring of the data as well. Because if we're trying to measure too many things, then we don't get clarity. So I know you will be coming along, or at least learning along with the List Growth Challenge that's coming up, and you've done it a few times in the past. But this year, I want you to focus mostly on list growth, right? Getting in front of new eyes rather than serving the people that already know you, because what you do is beautiful and the more people need to know about you. Bridget, come on up. What was your key takeaway from today? What did you like best?
Well, you know that I get overwhelmed quickly. So, and I stop and I start and I stop and I start, and I'm trying to get those stops shorter and shorter. But no, this is perfect because I know I need to do lead gen. I know I need to connect the dots so that the leads go to be captured. I always make it more difficult than it needs to be. So I just need to simplify it and put my blinders on and go step by step by step. And I know that I'll be on the right track with you. So
Awesome.
another case of I know what I need to do. I could tell others, but I have to do it myself, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And like I said, I make it too complicated in my head, and that gets in my way, and that's got to stop. So that's one of my stops.
Great. This year, we're going to be doing loads and loads of GSD sessions, guys. So keep your eye out, especially for all of you Academy clients, because working on different processes together in GSD sessions gives us focus. It allows you to work on your business instead of in it. Working on building those systems. Building systems doesn't take away the human connection part of the process. You guys still have to be following up and, letting people hear your voice. But if we can build in some of those repetitive tasks into the system and automate it, then you can spend most of your time just talking to those who are closer to the yes. And then the automation is keeping you front of mind and tip of tongue. So I tried to have a registration link ready, and you know me, master of the chef that doesn't cook at home because she's busy building other people's stuff. I've got to build a registration page for our List Growth Challenge that's coming up. But keep an eye out, because I think those of you who don't have a way to capture leads automatically are really going to benefit from this. And not only that, it's going to give you more clarity around, the messaging and the wording that you are going to put out there, because we only truly need one really good lead magnet to grow your list. And if we focus on building one, we can then focus on measuring and optimizing rather than having 10 of them to do. All right, guys. Well, as we wrap on up, as always, we're going to go dark now. I'm here for our client, VIP clients in the Academy or studio clients, to do Ask Me Anything. And I will stay here because we're actually officially still not on break, but the VOZ isn't open. Except for Tuesdays until the full team return. Ash and I are here working today, but I will stay and answer all questions until we're done. There's beautiful Ash. Hey, Ash, come on up and say Happy New Year and all the good things. There is my Ash.
Hi, hello. Happy New Year, everyone. I hope you have lots of exciting things planned for the year ahead, but smart and measurable and attainable things. There's always big, lofty goals. We've always got amazing things that we want to achieve. Start small, build momentum. You can't climb a ladder if the prongs are too far apart. So tiny baby steps and you will get wherever you want to go. My goals this year are to just do more craft in my spare time. I was talking to Joanne about it earlier today. Just really sit down and walk away from the tech a little bit when I'm not working and just focus on slowing down in my downtime instead of go, go, go all the time, because I can't help myself. So to be my best for all of you, I'm going to slow down just a little bit in my downtime for the year. That's my big lofty goal. So look out for all my crafting joys that I'll be popping up throughout the year.
Oh, nice. I want to do that paint color thing that we discussed. So, Ash, yeah. You share what it is. I think it's going to be fun.
It's like, yeah, it's like a paint and sip thing where you go and you have a cocktail or something and there's a design and you copy along. So we were looking at doing something like that. And very exciting news. We set up our bungalow yesterday in full. I have a full craft desk. All my crafts are organized. So my tiny houses are in the same spot and tools are in a certain drawer. So I'm ready to rock. All I need now is an ergonomic chair to keep me sitting nicely instead of hunching over as I am one to do. Bridget said, poor Ash working on the break. Don't worry, Bridget, you can't stop me. You can't stop me. Sally was like, make sure you take time off. And I was like, yeah, but someone's got to check the emails. So
She
I'll
does
check
an
the emails
amazing
and I'll do
job,
this
does
and
Ash.
that.
All
I'd love
right,
to hear what
guys.
everybody else's lofty goals are for the year, though.
Yeah, well, let's do that as we go dark. I would love to hear what everybody's goals are. As always, never let anyone dull your sparkle. Make sure you get at least one income-producing activity done each and every day, and every day be marketing. All right, guys, have a fabulous one. If you haven't done so, make sure you hit the subscribe button, turn on those notifications over on YouTube so you don't miss any of our lives. Love you guys. Happy New Year. 2026 is going to be amazing.
You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. You always thought that you were weak, but babe, you're wrong. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if